Hello friends, welcome to the video solutions of IPM 2023. In this video, we'll be solving the original questions from the quant section. Let's get started. Look at the first question. We have an 8x8 chessboard. It's a standard chessboard and we want to place 8 rooks on the board. All right, but there are conditions here. No 2 rooks are in the same row and no 2 rooks are in the same column. Means 1 row, 1 rook, 1 column, 1 rook, right? Now I have 8 columns A to H and I have 8 rooks. What does it mean? I will put only 1 rook in the first column, only 1 rook in the second column, only 1 rook in the third column, and so on, right? All right, first column, we have not placed any rooks yet. So the first rook can be placed in any of these 8 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first rook can occupy any of these 8 places. Now what about the second rook? It can't be in the same column, right? It will have to go to the second column. Now, whichever row I place the first rook in, that row is unavailable to the second rook, correct? So the first rook could have gone to any of these 8 places, but the second rook will not go into that row where the first rook was already placed. So it doesn't have a choice of 8 places, it has only 7 places, correct? The second rook can be placed in any of the remaining 7 rows in column B. What about the third rook? 1 row is already taken in column A, the second row is already taken in column B. This rook has only 6 columns to choose from, and so on till into 5, into 4, into 3, into 2, into 1. Now this last column, 7 rooks have already been placed in 7 rows. Only 1 row remains. So the last column, you just take the rook and place it in that row which is not occupied. So the total is 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. We know that is written as 8 factorial. That's option 3. 8 factorial is our answer. Next question. A goldsmith bought a large solid golden ball at 1 lakh, no, that's not 1 lakh, that's 1 million rupees, that's 10 lakh rupees, and melted it to make a certain number of solid spherical beads. Okay, he bought one solid golden ball, and what is he making? He's making spherical beads. Okay, maybe smaller beads, something like that. We don't know how many, but he's making many such beads. Okay, so we know that the radius of each bead was 1/5 of the radius of the original ball. Now, what is the volume of the original ball? 4 by 3 pi r cube, where r is the radius of the sphere, right? Now, these have a radius which is 1/5 of that radius. So, their volume will be 4 by 3 into pi into, if the radius of the large solid golden ball is capital R, this would be r by 5 whole cube, correct? So this will be 1 by 125 times of 4 by 3 pi r cube, correct? So each of these small balls will have a volume which is 1 by 125 times of the original large golden ball, correct? Now, how many of these together, how many of these can he make out of whatever gold he is getting here? He'll make, each one is 1 by 125. So when he makes 125 such balls, the volume will be equal to whatever gold he purchased, correct? So he will be making 125 small spherical golden beads. That's the plan, right? Now, assume that the cost of making golden beads is negligible. That cost is negligible, okay? We are buying one big ball and then we are making it into small beads and we are selling them. If the goldsmith sold all the beads at 20% discount on the listed price, and still made a profit of 20%. All right. So let's say the list price or market price is LP, right? He's giving a discount of how much? 20%, which means he'll be selling at 80% of the listed price. And by doing so, he's still able to make a total profit of 20%. Let's assume his cost price is CP. On cost price, he's making a 20% profit. So CP into 1.2 list price. Upon that, give a discount of 20%, list price into 0.8 is cost price into 1.2. List price is equal to 1.2 by 0.8 CP. And how much is this? 3 by 2, 1.5 CP. So what is the list price? the list price is 50% more than whatever it cost him, right? So list price is 1.5 times of cost price. Now, what is the cost price of each of them? Let's see. He bought a big ball for 10 lakh rupees and he turned it into how many? 125 such balls. So what is the cost of each such ball? He spent 10 lakhs and then he's getting 125 balls. 10 lakhs by 125, that would be how much? This would be 8,000 rupees. That is his cost price. Each spherical bead cost him 8,000 rupees, but he has to mark up 50%. CP is 8,000. 8,000 into 1.5 is 12,000. That's how much he's listing, and then he's giving a discount. That's the whole point. Correct? So that's option 4. 12,000 is our answer. We found out how many spherical beads he can make. Small spherical beads, 125. And then we found out the cost of each such bead, 8,000. Then we figured if he marks it up by 50%, then even after giving a 20% discount, he'll make a 20% profit. So 8,000 into 1.5, 12,000. Next question. Let P be a positive integer such that the unit digit of P cube is 4. Alright. P cube units digit is a 4. Right? This is an even number, so P can't be an odd number. If P is an odd number, it will end in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 1 cube or 3 cube or 5 cube or 7 cube or 9 cube. They can't end in 4, right? Now, P has to be an even number, which means P has to be 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0. 0 is ruled out. 0 cube can't give me a 4. What about 2? 2 square, 2 cube is 8, ruled out. What about 6? 6 square ends in 6, 6 cube ends in 6 and so on. What about 8? 8 square ends in 64, 8 cube ends in 2, right? No. So that leaves us only 4. So P is some number which ends in 4. Alright, this is P. So this number 4 is in the units digit. 4 square 6, 4 cube 64, 4. So that will give me a 4. Now the question is, what are the possible units digits of P plus 3? That is P, add a 3, it will be something and 7. The units digit will now be 7. P plus 3 whole cube. What will be the units digit? The units digit of 7 cube. 7 squares are 49, 7 cubes are 343. So this when cubed will end in 3 in the units place, right? I don't know the other part. I don't know how many digits this number has, but I do know that the units digit will still end in 7 cube 343, 3. That's option 2. Next question. In a triangle ABC, let D be the midpoint of BC. Alright, ABC, D is the midpoint of BC, and AM is the altitude on BC. Okay, if the lengths of AB, BC and AC are in the ratio 2:4:3. Alright, so we have something like this. We have A, B and C. Alright, AB, BC and AC are in the ratio 2:4:3. So let's say this is 2x, this is 3x, this whole thing is 4x, and further what do we know? AM is the altitude on BC. Okay, AM, this is the altitude, so it's a perpendicular. And what do we know? D is the midpoint of BC. Alright, so D is the midpoint of BC. Now I know AB, BC and AC are in the ratio 2:4:3. So if this is 2x, this is 3x, this whole thing has to be 4x. If this is 4x, this has to be 2x, right? Now what I don't know is this part MD, right? I know this whole part is 2x. This MD part is what I don't know. Let's say this part is y. MD is y. I know D is the midpoint, so BD is equal to DC is equal to 2x, in which case BM will be 2x minus y, right? Now what do we have? Check this. Check this small y, and how do we go about solving it? Check this. AD is now the hypotenuse of triangle AMD. Can we see that? The small part is y, right? and AD is the median, right? AD is the median of triangle ABC, but AD is also the hypotenuse of triangle AMD, correct? So what can we say here? If you look at AM, AM is the perpendicular, it's the altitude dropped from A to BC, and in triangle ABM, we are going to look at triangle ABM and triangle AMD. Triangle ABM and triangle AMD. Now, in triangle ABM, what is AM? Hypotenuse square, AB square minus BM square, square root of, right? AM is square root of AB square minus BM square. So, I'll just take AM square and equate it on both sides, right? What is AM square here? Check. AM square would be 2x whole square minus 2x minus y whole square, right? And this is equal to, in triangle AMC, what can we say? AM is equal to 3x whole square minus 2x plus y whole square, right? In a triangle ABC, let D be the midpoint of BC and AM be the altitude on BC. If the lengths of AB, BC and CA are in the ratio 2:4:3. Alright, we have triangle ABC. This is what it looks like. ABC. The lengths of AB, BC and AC are in the ratio 2:4:3. And then D is the midpoint of BC. Midpoint would be somewhere here, right? And AM is the altitude on BC. Okay, this is M. So what do you have? AB, BC, this is 2x, AC is 3x, right? Now BC is 4x. Since D is the midpoint, this half will be 2x and this half will be 2x. Now I do not know MD. Let's just assume for a moment that MD is y, in which case this will be 2x minus y, right? That's the triangle that we have. ABC is the triangle. AB is 2x, BC is 4x and AC is 3x. AM the altitude and AD is the median, right? Now the ratio of the lengths of BM and AD would be, all right, we need to find BM and we need to find AD. Okay, focus on triangles ABM, which is a right angle triangle, and triangle AMC. We'll see soon why we are doing that. Look at triangle ABM. In triangle ABM, what is AM? AM is the altitude of the triangle and BM is the base, AB is the hypotenuse. Similarly, in triangle AMC, AM is the altitude, it's a common altitude. MC, that's the base, and AC, that's the hypotenuse, correct? Which means in triangle ABM, AM square is equal to AB square minus BM square, which is the same as AC square minus MC square, correct? In this triangle, it's an altitude. In the other triangle, also it's an altitude. Now, what is AB square? 4x square minus what is BM? 2x minus y whole square is equal to AC square, 3x whole square, 9x square minus MC square. What is MC? Y plus 2x. 2x plus y whole square. So, 4x square minus 4x square minus y square minus of minus 2x plus 4xy is equal to 9x square minus 4x square minus y square minus 4xy, right? So what do we have? 4x square cancels, minus y square cancels, 4xy comes this side, 8xy is equal to 9 minus 4, 5x square. X cancels, x here. What is this value of y? 5x by 8. So we know the value of y, which is 5x by 8, this part, and we know this part also now. How much is this? 2x minus 5x by 8. How much will that be? 16 minus 5, 11x by 8. So we have these two parts. Now, what are we expected to find out? We are expected to find out a BM, which we already know, and AD. All right. So AD we can find using any approach. We can either find AM. We can either find AM in triangle ABM, right? Because I know BM, I know AB, I can find AM. The other way, so once we find AM, what we can do is we can do AM square plus MD square to get AD square. That's one approach. The other approach, since we know it's a median, right? AD is the median, and we can apply Apollonius theorem. Apollonius theorem, which relates sides of a triangle to the median of a triangle, right? Let's apply Apollonius theorem. What does it say? In triangle ABC, AB square plus AC square is twice of BD square plus AD square. This seems much faster, at least it's only one step instead of multiple steps, right? AB square plus AC square is twice of BD square plus AD square. Now we can put BD or CD, it doesn't matter because both are same, right? This is 2x and that is 2x. So what is AB square? 4x square plus AC square, 9x square by 2 is how much? AD square plus BD square. BD square is 4x square, correct? Plus AD square, right? What is this? I have 13x square. 13x square by 2 minus 4x square is AD square, and AD square is 13 minus 8, 5x square by 2, right? And what is AD? Equal to x root 5 by 2, right? Finally, we have AD. Now we just need to find the ratio of BM and AD. What is BM? 11x by 8 is to what is AD? X root 5 by root 2, right? X cancels, right? This I'll just cross multiply. 11 root 2 is to 8 root 5, right? What else can we do? We can just divide this whole thing. This root 2 we can cancel. Divide this by root 2. Divide this by root 2. What do we have? 11 is to 8 by root 2. 8 I can write it as 4 into root 2 into root 2. 4 into root 2 into root 5, which is 11 is to 4 root 10. So 11 is to 4 root 10. That would be option 3, our answer, right? Simple case of geometry. We needed to find out altitude using Pythagoras theorem, and then we need to find out the median using Apollonius theorem, find the ratio. Option 3.